Hello. While I was out and about the other day, well, I'd been looking at getting myself a set of 308 dies and found a nice set of full-length RCBS dies. Went ahead and got them, price was right. And, well, since I had them, I started tinkering. I'd done some casting last weekend, and I made up a nice batch of 312 160 2R. Got a nice powder coat on them with that bronze chrome. And, well, I scrounged around and found a couple pieces of brass that were emptied out, and went ahead and loaded them up. I put 44 grains of Varget, I believe, and set those on top. I put them in my little single shot NEF, and they chambered just fine. So I think we're going to run down to the range and give them a try out and see how they do. So I'll catch up with you there. Made it to the range, but I didn't film it all while we were there. There were other people around and just didn't feel comfortable with it. But I was able to fire off those three reloads that I made. And first one hit way low. I was shooting at the center dot. And then this was number 2, so got a little closer. And this was number 3. So that's something I'm going to tinker with a little bit, see how things go. And fired a couple more. Seth got to shoot a couple of the 150 grain PowerPoints, the Winchesters, and he was hitting real nice on that lower dot. I tried out some of the PPU shells that I got just because I was going to empty them to use the brass, and put one right there, but then the shells were sticking. I'll show that in a second. And then I took a second shot offhand, and I hit way off to the left, but that was the target. The 3 rounds that I reloaded, the primers all looked really good. They fired well. I mean, no problems. Ejected just fine, and I'm pretty happy with that. The Winchesters that we fired from the box there, they all, were just fine. They ejected just fine. But this PPU brass did not want to eject. It was getting stuck. I had to take the gun apart and pry them out. I forgot to take a cleaning rod with me. And I think this is the first one I shot, and it was a dead click the first time. The second time I hit it, it went off. The second one, we put it in, and Seth tried it, and no, I think this was the third one. This one went off for me, the second click. And this is the one that Seth tried to shoot, and there's a primer strike, but obviously it did not go off. So I'm not sure about this box of ammo. I might try them in one other rifle and see what they do, but I don't know, might end up just breaking it down and using it. So I was hoping to fire these and have some brass to play with to do some reloading, and darned if, when I got there and looking right on the ground, there was almost a full box. There's 17 shells in there. So I'm going to get those all cleaned up, and I can load a whole fresh box and take them down and try them. So it ended up being a good, successful trip, and it'll remind me that every time I take that little single shot NEF, I got to take a cleaning rod with me just in case. But it was a good test, a little fun trip. We had a good time, and I felt like good enough results, at least enough to pursue it. Thanks. Hope everybody has a good weekend. Hope we'll see you tonight on Georgia Shooting Connection. Thanks.